Now, coming to the graphical part, this is where some students find it difficult, especially getting the scale correctly and also be able to plot the point correctly or accurately. So to be able to plot, you need the y-axis and also the x-axis. So I have my y-axis and also the x-axis. Remember, the question says 2 centimeter to 1 unit on x-axis. 2 centimeter to 1 unit simply means that for every 10 lines, you keep increasing by 1. So let's say you start from -3, -2, -1. The lines between -3 to -2 is 10 lines. And the lines between 1 and 2 is 10 lines. So that's what it means. You must have a consistent space between them. So the consistency here is that the difference between the line between 0 and 1 is 10, between 1 and 2 is 10, between 3 and 4 is also 10. That's what the scale is. 2 centimeters simply means 10 lines on the graph, right? So 2 centimeter to 1 unit simply means start from 1 and then increasing it by 2, 3, and 4, and so on and so forth. So the difference between them must be 1. Now, on the y-axis, the question says 2 centimeter to 2 units. That means for every 10 lines, there's what? Keep increasing it by 2. So here is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on and so forth. So what we are going to do now is to plot. So the first one says when the value of x is -3, the value of y is 17. So you are going to touch x at -3 and then trace it to y at 17. So if this is 14 and this is 16, you can agree with me that 15 is in between 14 and 16. Just the same way that 17 will be in between 16 and 18. That's if I had 18 here. So to get 17, you just count 5 lines upward from 16. So let's do that one. So 16, count 5 lines upward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then plot. Remember, some people plot like this by putting a steady, some people put plus, but this is just a matter of personal preference. So whichever way you know how to plot is fine, okay? But here, I prefer to just put a dot and then circle. So when x is -3, y is 17. Now, the next value says when x is -2, y is 6. When x is -2, when x is -2, y is 6. So you plot. Now, when x is -1, y is -1. When x is -1, y is -1. So -1 is just to count. So this is x at -1, then y at -1. Just count 5 lines downward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have a point here. Alright? So when x is 0, y is -4. Now this is the point where some students find it difficult. So when x is 0, okay, at this point of intersection is where x equals to 0 and y is equals to 0. So when x is 0, y is -4. So just trace it. This is x at 0. So where is y at -4? Trace the same line downward and then plot on the y-axis. So when x is 1, y is -3. When x is 1, y is -3. So -3 will be here. 5 lines downward from 2. Plot. Right? What is coming? Okay. When x is 2, y is 2. When x is 2, y is 2. And when x is 3, y is 11. So let's count 11 upward. So this is 10. 11 will be 5 lines after 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 11. Now, so the next thing is to draw the curve, which I'm going to do right away. You understand the line? What you analyze with that? Alright, now this is a graph of y equals to 2x squared minus x minus 4. Now let me quickly go through it again. So you have your table of value, and your table of value will help you determine to plot the table of value will guide you in plotting the graph. So minus 3 against 17. When x is minus 3, y is 17. When x is minus 2, y is 6. When x is minus 1, y is what? Minus 1. When x is 0, y is 4. When x is 1, y is 3. When x is 2, y is 2. And when x is 3, y is 11. Then you draw the curve. Thank you.